Hey guys, BoSchitt here, and as much as I wanted to finish an actual project before making another vlog, I've been trying to make a short in Source Filmmaker, and I've run into some obnoxious problems that kinda keep me from finishing it. So, rather than wait any longer until that gets ironed out, I think it would be a good idea to go ahead and touch on the subject of bronies, as I said I would in the first vlog. I was going to do a vlog about my thoughts on Source Filmmaker first, but I feel before I can do that, I have to have something to show for it before I can discuss it. So, you're probably wondering, why bother? What do bronies have to do with anything in the videos? Well, here's the deal. Normally they wouldn't, but problems surfaced when I first made the mistake of using a couple of brief sound clips from My Little Pony in the 10th episode of the Gmod Idiot Box. While I thought it to be harmless at first, the bronies picked up on that, started speculating through the video comments whether or not I was a brony, and as soon as the anti-bronies started getting into it, a big fat flame war began as a result. It sounds pretty ridiculous, but I can understand why it happens from both ends, and a lot of it has to do with me being at fault for some of it. I say that because even after I saw the results of using simple sound clips, I didn't really stop there because admittedly, it was kind of amusing at first. After the 10th episode, I made a reference to the show in April Fool's videos I did, and a very small pony-related joke in passing through Duke Nukem Forever Quest. Of course, it got very, very old very fast, and now I wish I hadn't fanned those flames in the first place, because no one likes an instigator. Since then, I've had a few things I've wanted to address, namely the speculation about whether or not I'm a brony myself. Some of you already know the answer to that as readers of the old blog, but as I said before, this vlog is for the archives, so no one can make the excuse that they didn't see a link to the blog or something. In answer to me being a brony, no, I am not. That's not to say I haven't seen the show, no. Quite the opposite, actually. I've kept up with the show completely, and I can understand the appeal of it in the first place. It's well-timed, well-written, the characters are entertaining, and it's got a lot of charm and good humor to it. However, the brony label goes a bit far because it seems like a rather extreme one. It would be like calling someone a Trekkie just because he's enjoyed a few episodes of Star Trek, and obviously that's just not accurate. I'm not some extreme fan of the show, I don't search for fan art or frequent forums, spread the word, and I certainly don't bounce eagerly in my chair waiting for the next season saying, "Oh my god, hurry up and give me more of my adorable ponies." So that in mind, I can appreciate the show, but I don't appreciate the brony label because I feel that's reserved for fans. The term, of course, derived from the word fanatic, of which I am not. I do know why fanatical labels like bronies exist and are given at the drop of the hat, though. It goes along with labels like gamer, furry, and so forth. These labels are consistent with a group of people that society deems unusual. They're unusual in the sense that these aforementioned labels describe a fan base that haven't been around for too long compared to other mediums, and is something that a majority of people don't often take part in, unlike music, movies, and books. While I understand that that's the case, to give someone such a label so quickly isn't really fair to them, and it makes them feel uncomfortable to admit to liking the subject material because they're afraid of the social stigma that comes with being lumped together with the much weirder portion of that fan base. So again, I like the show, but you can keep the brony label because I'm just not that involved in the fan base to warrant it. Now as for the anti-bronies, or just people that are sick and tired of hearing about them, I know where you're coming from as well. You guys are going through a lot of what I did when I was getting so tired of seeing that Renamon character that I saw fit to turn her into a substance-abusing punchline in a number of my videos. So for that, I do apologize for fanning the flames in the past. It was a bad call on my part, and starting now, I will try to keep any pony-related stuff out of future content, so we can have comments that actually pertain to the video again. So in conclusion, I don't hate bronies, and I understand where the anti-bronies are coming from as well. My Little Pony, much like Barbie dolls, were those things we used to accuse those wimpy kids of playing with when we were younger, while the rest of us played with real man toys like G.I. Joes and race cars and such. After almost 3 decades of that stigma of My Little Pony being about mindless giggling tea parties and other girly crap, it's daunting for the average person to accept that the mindlessness of that brand finally changed, or just to get past the fact that it did indeed start out as a show for little girls. In the end, what matters most is to just respect each other's boundaries. While there will always be obnoxious, overzealous bronies or a real dickhead anti-brony that just goes looking for trouble, what's important to remember is this. Bronies have to respect the anti-brony's wishes before they can expect to have it returned. If someone who doesn't want to take part in the show says that they don't want anything to do with it, you're only making it worse by trying to convince them otherwise. It makes them even more irritated and likely to build a stronger bias in the unlikely event that they do decide to watch a few episodes. Well, that about does it on the subject. I'm hoping in the coming weeks I'll have a few Source Filmmaker shorts ready for you once I can get the issues ironed out. I'm not very good at it right now, and there's probably lots of shortcuts I'm missing, so we'll figure that out. After that, I'll be able to talk further on the subject as well. While I'd like to continue working on the 11th episode of the Gmod Idiot Box, I would really like to play it safe for the time being and wait until Gmod 13 arrives and is in a stable state before I can continue. There's always a possibility that every model and map that I've ever collected for Gmod may break when that happens, but we'll see how it goes for now. Thanks for watching, I'll see you next time.